Let's redo a bathroom.
This is a basic early 2000s guest bathroom with a fiberglass tub shower combo, vinyl floor, and a cheap vanity. We've already picked out our tile at tilebar.com and are ready to upgrade. The best part about a renovation is demolition. And in this renovation, we're changing a fiberglass standing tub unit to a tub with a tile surround. So to get the fiberglass unit out, you first have to remove all of the plumbing trim, the shower head, tub spout, accompanying escutcheons, and then the drain. After you get all of the escutcheons off, then I went over to remove the vanity and the accessories around the room. The mirror, which nobody likes anymore. Hated throwing it away, but it was done. This was the trouble area in this room. These two shutoff valves, the hot water valve had a leak. So as soon as it was disconnected, it leaked the entire renovation until I finally had to cut it off and replace it. These supply lines are reusable, so we just put those aside for later. And it leaked like this pretty much the entire time. Had to keep a 5-gallon bucket underneath it to keep water off the floor. Here is my buddy Mirsad taking the Sawzall to the fiberglass tub so we can expose the plumbing and get it replumbed to fit our new bathtub. Unfortunately, nothing matched up and we had to move stuff around to make it work correctly. Now we're going to prep the area for the new materials. I'm not sure why I didn't film any of the fight and wrestling match I had with that tub trying to get it in that hole. It took literally 3 days. But with some fighting, moving, adjusting, we finally got the plumbing to match up. We got the studs cut away where we needed it and got it in there. As you see here, I'm checking the studs and the squareness of the walls because whatever the studs are doing, the wallboard will do afterwards, and then the tile will follow. Here I'm cleaning up the tub, putting on some protection so that whatever drips and drops don't scratch the brand new tub surface. Got some foam around the outside taped on, and that kept us pretty well out of trouble. A wallboard installation using Laticrete's Hydraband board makes this super easy. I can't say enough about how well it cuts. It's lightweight, easy to handle, and already waterproof. As I'm installing it here, I'm just using my laser level to make sure I don't miss the studs as I'm screwing it in. We were square at the studs and we're square at the wallboard. We have nice tight cuts around all the penetrations, and the last step is to use the Laticrete Hydraband sealant to seal the joints and all the screws. Now we're ready for tile. Nobody does a tub or shower without a shower niche. So while the plumbing was being done upstairs, I decided to get ahead of the game and work on my shower niche using the Laticrete Hydraband preformed shower box. In an effort to get it as close as possible, I cut some cardboard as a template to use in place of the 2-inch white hexagon that would eventually go in the shower box. Doing the prep work ahead of time should make cutting and installing this a little bit easier. Also, having it in the workshop and not having it upstairs in a tight room gives us some room to work. As I take the template and just double check everything fits, I see that it's a little too tight, and I pull it back out so I can shave some off before I start marking my mosaic tile and getting it ready to cut. Double checking one more time to make sure it's the proper fit. Now getting everything out of the way so I can get my template and my tile on the table square so I can start marking the tile and getting ready to cut it. As you see, I've got a board set up with 2 pieces of wood that are at a 90-degree angle, and I'm just laying the template on top of it and making sure I have it flush, and then I'm going to take a marker and mark the tile so I can therefore cut it. Now that that line is marked, I'm going to take my knife and cut the tile off of the sheet in hopes that I can run that whole line of tile through the wet saw in one cut. This will make one long cut up against the left edge of the niche. That worked. Now I'm cutting all the small pieces. Because it's a hexagon, you're going to get a lot of weird shaped pieces. So here I am marking those pieces and getting ready to move those to the saw. I'm having to set up several different times to cut very small pieces, clean off all the little chips so that the tile slides well, adjust the rail, and also get another piece of tile that I have something to push because the pieces are so small. Trying to be very careful not to nick my hand. Little note about a wet saw blade: it doesn't necessarily cut you, but it can burn you. So I'm cutting all these small pieces, setting them to the side, and switching it up for another different cut. Some of those pieces were less than a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch and were difficult to handle. And now that I have all those set up, I've laid them all out, and I laid it out in the niche to see how it all fits. Looks pretty good. Here we are installed with a marble seal at the bottom and black square metal edge to trim out the box. Still needs some cleaning up to do, but it's ready for tile. Wall tile around a tub is not that difficult if you have prepared correctly. The most common mistake seen is that the wall board does not meet the tub correctly. One sign of this is that the board has not been shimmed away from the wall to where the board is plumb from top to bottom. Another that I've seen is that the tub is installed in front of the board and the board runs behind it. This can cause moisture and water to run behind your tub, which is never good. If installed correctly, you can use your tub ledge as a level line and stack your wall tile from there, making sure you leave a sealant gap at the bottom. As you continue to work up the wall, in this pattern we're using a brick offset. We have metal edge at either termination point and are spreading the thin set up and working our way through it. We used an 1/8 of an inch grout joint spacer for this installation. Now that we have it all set, the next day we pull it out, clean out the joints, make sure everything's right and we don't have to touch up anything, and get ready for grout. For the wall grout, we chose Laticrete Spectralock 1 for its stain resistance and ease of use. It comes pre-mixed in a bucket and has all the qualities of epoxy without the headache of the cleanup. Follow the directions and it installs great. Now onto the floor. We're going to use an uncoupling membrane, but first we have to remove the toilet, the vinyl, and do some prep, which included removing a piece of plywood, getting the toilet flange squared away, and then we cleaned up and prepped the floor for the membrane. Got it all vacuumed up, wet it down with a sponge. Now we're going to install the membrane with a thin set. This is Laticrete's Stratamat. The great thing about an uncoupling membrane is you can jump right on it and install your floor tile. We chose the white hexagon, and Mersad made quick work of that as he worked through the bathroom. The floor grout was also Spectraline 1, a gray grout on white hexagon, classic. And now for the worst part, we have to paint the room. After cleaning up, protecting our tile work, doing some touch up, using some sealant and caulk, we started painting with the ceiling and the trim. The final step is getting the fixtures that we purchased installed. We got a new vanity from Wayfair with black hardware to match the other hardware and plumbing trim, a new light fixture, and then reinstalled the toilet. The time lapse makes things seem like it didn't take very long, but this lasted over several weeks. Luckily, my kids didn't take a bath for a few weeks, so that's the smell. I'm just joking. The pool was open. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more like it, please subscribe, like, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss anything as we walk through challenges and triumphs of the tile and stone industry. Shop tilebar.com for the best and the most modern designs out there. I look forward to seeing you soon, and don't forget to tile the world.